I get done with the character in 3 months. I'm like, I'm done with this now. Can we move on?
Firstly, congratulations on the success of Trial by Fire. We haven't seen you in a long time.
Well, I do small things and they don't get the same marketing or distribution budgets that most projects do. So I can understand why you think I've been away, but I really haven't. Trial by Fire, of course, was a much bigger project. So you definitely know when it came out. But not everybody knew when Jungle Cry came out, for example.
What made you take a break from Bombay? What made you move to Asagaon and LA?
I've always kind of felt claustrophobic in Bombay, with the traffic and the noise and the dust and pollution and all of that. I love the people, and of course, I have friends and family in the industry, but it was important for me to feel a little bit more freedom, more openness. Like Goa, everybody knows is very open, like it's green, it's nice. It doesn't get flooded in the rains. It's kind of like home. My sisters lived there. While I did some work there, it just became my life too. And of course, in LA, I'm anonymous. So, I can just be a regular average person there, which is kind of nice to have.
What does everyday life in Goa look like?
In Goa, I'm really healthy. I do gym 4 days a week. I do yoga 2 days a week. Guasha massage twice a week. Started swimming as well. And I started dance classes. So every day I have something. And I mean, my house is here. So it's just regular life, there's housework or whatever have you. I read my scripts, I have phone calls. And sometimes I just have nothing to do. I relax. I wish I would be more open to going to the beach, but I don't go much out anyway. I tend to be in my house.
What's one of your roles that you think is very similar to what Abhay is as a person? I want to believe that you are that guy in Aisha.
There's no one character that is me entirely. You tend to find something that you can relate to and then start from there. With Oi Lucky, for example, I related to his ambition. He was ambitious. He just wanted a shortcut through life though. I mean, I'm ambitious, but I don't believe in shortcuts. You have to work for it. With Dave D, for example, I have been obsessive in the past and abusive to my body. With the Aisha character, I have, for example, been there for someone I've loved, but not necessarily told her. None of them are entirely me, though.
What are the things that interest you besides acting? Like, do you cook? Are you anything like what your character is in Chopsticks, which, by the way, is my favorite character of yours?
I have cooked. I wouldn't say I am a cook. I would say that I have cooked, especially in LA. For a while, I had roommates who are like family to me now. They're husband and wife from England. The husband loves cooking, so he taught me a lot. And I did, for a while there, get independent in the kitchen almost. But then it's not something I continued on. You come to India, you help. So
yeah,
I fall back. And then TJ is always like, did you forget everything I taught you? I'm like, yeah.
Besides acting, what interests you?
In the film world, it started with acting, but I've developed, Dave D was the first script I developed, and I've gone into production. So some of my time goes now expanding within the film world. Then I built this house in Goa, and I've met an architect to build another, but completely off the grid experimental structure between Bombay and Pune. I've really been looking into just sustainable homes and housing. My house here in Goa is anything but sustainable. So the next one, what I want to do is make it literally off the grid. Can I have something that generates its own power, and has its own water system? So architecture is interesting for me. I can draw and paint. So sometimes I do that. And then, just writing and developing. So honestly, it's more in the creative fields. I don't have anything outside of it. The only thing outside of it was architecture, off-the-grid buildings, yoga. Like I'd love to do wellness retreats here in Goa.
What has been the major difference of working on an OTT show versus working in the films, and which one do you enjoy more?
Well, with a show, obviously you have more days to shoot. Because if you're doing, let's say, 7 episodes of 1 hour each, that's 7 hours of footage that is edited. Whereas if you're doing a film that's 2 hours long, you can do the math. So time factor is one thing. I've never done a show that went seasonal. I can't imagine myself playing the same character for a few years. I get done with the character in 3 months. I'm like, I'm done with this now. Can we move on? So that might be a challenge for me if ever it came up. Marketing also is different. Theatrical films tend to have a lot more travel, a lot more studios to be recorded in, whereas the OTT platforms tend to have the tie-ups with a handful of people. So marketing is a lot better and easier in that sense. But at the end of the day, your acting is acting is acting, writing is writing is writing, directing, all of those things. The process is exactly the same.
What is on your Netflix binge list?
Right now, nothing.
What did you enjoy last?
I enjoyed Euphoria. That was, I think, a really good show. Then, like season 1 of White Lotus was really good. The Landscapers. Catch that if you can. Dark comedies are usually my go-to genre for both thought-provoking stuff and entertainment all in one.
And there's also always been this very distinct ease around your fashion choices. It's pretty nonchalant, but then yet there is a lot of style. Are you into fashion at all? Who are your favorite designers? What do you like to wear?
I do like to wear nice clothes, but that doesn't mean I have a specific brand that I necessarily like or buy. I like to be easy in my statement of dress. I don't like to be trying too hard. You actually have to first understand who is it that you are. What is it that makes you comfortable? Because yeah, sure, you can open a magazine and read what is in at the moment and how to put it together, and you do fine. But then really you're just kind of following a trend. You're never creating one. And it's not like you have to create trends, but when you find your individuality and comfort in your own skin, anything can look good on you. It doesn't actually start with the clothes, it starts with you.
You want to tell me what is next for you?
Well, there's a movie that I've signed that will go on floors in April. I can't speak much about it because the producer still has to announce it. This movie in particular that I signed actually came to me a month before Trial by Fire released. So it's only 1 month before the release of Trial by Fire that I signed something, and also because it was a script I liked, a director I've worked with, a producer I know really well.